Oh, hey there.
Oh, hey there.
I'm Kate.
I'm Bradley.
And this is History Buffoons.
Welcome to another episode of the History Buffoons. How are you today?
I'm pretty good.
Excellent, excellent.
It feels like it's really effing late here, but it's not.
I mean, I know we had a time change not that long ago, and we get the extra hour, but man, it's just so weird because obviously it's lighter out earlier in the day now and darker earlier in the evening, if you will. So
yeah, it feels like it's past my bedtime. That's what it feels like, and it's not even 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's wild how much that changes. I remember I picked Xavier up from the bus stop yesterday, and we wanted to kind of play around outside. I'm like, all right, we got a limited amount of time. And boy, did we. And it got dark, and I'm like, all right, we got to go in because I can barely see you.
Yeah.
So
let's drink to that.
All right.
We got some wine this time.
We're trying something different. I'm not normally a wine person. Kate normally isn't a wine person, but she does like wine. I do like some wines. I just don't go out of my way to drink them ever. So
this one is Cycles Gladiator. I
like gladiators.
And it is a 2021 California Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauv Blanc. So
it's inspired by the 19th century bicycle. Our mission is to empower women and honor the great ambitions reflected in the iconic artwork that graces our label.
Yep.
Our Sauvignon Blanc is crafted with these ideals in mind and sourced from some of California's top wine-growing regions. Enjoy flavors of nectarine, grapefruit, and guava in this wine.
Interesting.
Yes. So we have emptied the bottle.
And we've only gotten 2 glasses out of it.
Two
Nice
hefty
and frosty.
glasses. Yeah, so frosty.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
That is cold.
I like.
Yeah.
Do you like?
So, yeah,
it's a little on the drier side. I didn't realize you liked a little of that.
It's not as sweet as like a Moscato, obviously, or something like that. But so a little backstory. My dad was a huge wine drinker. He used to have even the subscription where they would send him 12 random bottles or whatever the fuck it was. He was mainly red, but he did like some whites. He would have them from time to time. A trip out to Colorado, we went to Vail, and there's this particular restaurant. I can picture it. I'm drawing a blank on the damn name though. And she who will not be named and I were there with my dad, and we had this particular Sauv Blanc. Delicious. That's how I found out I like Sauv Blancs. So I blame my dad for making me like the stuff I like in alcohol. Because I was with him in Colorado, and that's where I learned that I like pale ales and IPAs. But I'm just kidding, obviously. But because I like other things beyond that. But anyways, so yeah, I've had that was 20 years ago, roughly, give or take. So yeah. So I saw that and I'm like, let's try that. Because I haven't had a Sauv Blanc or wine in general in quite a while.
Yeah. So I really like wine. Yeah. I just don't go out of my way to get it.
Exactly. And my biggest thing, and my dad always thought it was kind of like blasphemy, but he was a big red guy, which is usually most of them are going to be drier. You drink them at room temperature. I can't do that. I need them cold.
Which is why our glasses are frosty.
So nice.
I like Pinot Grigios.
You do, yes. Yes.
I think those are delicious.
Delicious. I mean, Sarah likes Moscatos. They're super sweet, though.
They're juice. They can I can just drink the whole freaking bottle and just be like, all right, where's the alcohol?
Yeah, and then later on, you're like, huh? Because wine drunk is a different kind of drunk.
It's a different kind of drunk, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But.
Okay, so we are going to talk about Cardinal Thomas Wolsey.
Yes, we are, aren't we?
Did you know that that's what I was going to talk about?
I happened to click into the document.
Rude.
I was just getting ready for something later, and I'm like, fuck. No, but I like it because he is...
You cheat.
You cheapskate. Because he is directly related to the story of King Henry.
Yes, and oh gosh, we just did something about King Henry VIII.
And I like that.
I know, but I try to switch it up.
We didn't do something on King Henry VIII. We did something on, what's her name? Why did I just...
Lady Jane.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. I was going to say Jenny, but we already talked about a Jenny in a different story too, because she was adjacent to the family. Mm-hmm. So we didn't really do it on King Henry.
Was there something else that was on King Henry or something?
We've done a lot of episodes. There's a good possibility, but I don't think so.
Maybe because I was reading into this. I was like, no, we just did one. No, it's because it's the same fucking story. Anyway, let's start.
Please.
Our story begins in a butcher shop in Ipswich.
And
sometime in the early 1470s. We are not exactly sure.
Sure.
Thomas Wolsey's father was Robert Wolsey. He was a tavern keeper.
Okay.
And he also was a butcher. So he had to beat the beer and
the beef.
The beef. Beer and beef.
The beef.
Yeah. Beer and beef. What else could you ask for?
It's all I want.
I know, beer and beef. As I
drink a wine. Cheers. Oh dear. Beer and beef. God, I'm hungry.
So Wolsey wasn't exactly born with a silver spoon in his mouth. The spoon was probably used more like for stirring stew or something.
I'm really glad you didn't say it somewhere else, but yeah.
The family did have a little bit of money and a little bit of property, but they were far from like the A-list
rich
elite.
Side,
yeah. Thomas was a commoner and a butcher's boy. But in the ever surprising world of the Tudors, down and out origins were not always a deal breaker.
No, it almost kind of seemed to flourish within that story, if you will.
King Henry VII liked finding talented commoners to outshine the nobility.
Well, because they came from a different spot, like a lot of those people, especially back then. I mean, referencing the Lady Jane story, look at what her dad did. And he tried to cheat the system, if you will. Just leave it at that, so I don't go into depth on that story. Listen to that episode if you want to hear. But these people came from nothing per se, or mostly nothing, and they have a different perspective on things. However, even though they came from nothing, things corrupt.
Yes. Wolsey was talented,
very, and
ambitious.
Yes.
And very smart.
Very, yes.
He was a bright child, super crazy bright. And he sped through his studies so fast that he graduated Oxford University around the age of 15.
Holy shit, really?
Yes.
Good Lord.
In 1498, age unknown, he was ordained a priest.
So when you said the 1470s, that's not roughly when he was born?
Roughly.
Okay, so we don't know his exact birth year.
No.
So he's in his mid to late 20s at this point.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Give or take.
So he was ordained as a priest, and he picked up some early career experience as a financial manager called the bursar.
A bursar?
Bursar, sure.
I think that's what it's. I think
a financial manager of such.
Don't quote me on that, but I think it's a bursar, but I could be wrong.
And this was at Magdalen College in Oxford, where he proved adept at organization and finance.
Oh, it's good to be organized when you're in finance.
For sure. So Wolsey learned to manage money and people, and these were skills that would treat him very well in years to come.
Oh, for sure.
The ambitious priest wasn't going to languish in a country parish.
No, he had his sights set on far further in the church.
Networking got him a job as a chaplain to the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wolsey made himself indispensable as a hard worker and, frankly, a bit of a genius at getting things done. He is the wedding planner of all wedding planners.
Okay.
I'm just saying, he's so organized, you want him as your wedding planner.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't think I do, because he's dead.
So his ambition caught the eye of King Henry VII.
Right.
And by King Henry's VII's final years of his reign, Wolsey had become one of the king's trusted chaplains, as well beloved as the king had called him well beloved clerk and chaplain.
Okay.
Don't know why that was so hard to get out.
Oh, because they're words.
But the old king soon started sending Wolsey on sensitive diplomatic missions.
Oh.
So one famous episode from this time shows just how effective and quick Wolsey could be.
Can I interject something real quick?
I knew you would. Eventually.
You have no idea what I'm about to say.
Okay, what?
Whenever I hear diplomatic missions, all I can ever think of is Star Wars.
Why?
Because she's on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan. Anyways,
diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
Well, I mean, that's what she said to Darth Vader when they caught up to the Tantive 4, name of the ship. Look it up. And look it up. And he's accusing her of being a traitor and a part of the Rebel Alliance. She's like, I'm on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
That's right, yeah.
So, anyways, I love Star Wars. Big fan.
So Henry VII supposedly dispatched him to the Netherlands on some diplomatic errand, didn't matter what.
Sure.
Wolsey completed the mission and returned to England with speed so fast that when he showed up to court, the king scolded him for not having gone yet.
Oh, shit.
And Wolsey was like,
dude, I just got back.
Actually, I've already did the thing.
Took care of that for you?
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So that little story earned him a reputation as the go-to guy for urgent problems.
Okay, sure.
So by 1509, Henry VII died and Wolsey was well positioned and well regarded at court.
Yep.
So now enter Henry VIII, 17-year-old redheaded prince who suddenly became king.
Was he a redhead?
I think so.
Huh.
Well, Elizabeth was. I'm pretty sure he was redhead.
Okay. I mean, I'm not questioning you. I guess every picture I remember seeing or I know the TV show, The Tudors, isn't like a historical document.
No.
But
now I want to find out.
I guess I've never really, I mean, it's very possible, but redhead hair skips generations. You know that, right?
Yeah, he was a redhead.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I guess I never really knew that because Sarah's a redhead and no one in her immediate family is, but her grandpa was. So it skipped. And I got the benefit of meeting her grandpa once before he passed, early on in our dating years. And he was all silver, so you could never really tell. And it's funny because redheads don't really go gray. They go silverish, whitish silver.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, apparently he was full on redhead. Couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So Henry was everything his cautious father was not. He loved spectacle, jousting, dancing, war, and did not love being in these stuffy council meetings.
No, he wanted to be out there.
Yeah. So initially, Henry VIII inherited some of his father's ministers, steady older men who tried to advise him. He was only 17.
Yep.
But Wolsey saw an opportunity in the new king's personality.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he's a go-getter.
Yeah. So according to Wolsey's gentleman usher, George Cavendish.
What's a gentleman usher?
Somebody who ushers him to places.
Gentlemanly like?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
George Cavendish.
Yes.
That's his name. While the older counselors urged Henry to attend to the tedious work of governing.
Yeah.
Wolsey told Henry to go out and enjoy himself, hunting, feasting, whatever.
You like that shit? Go do it.
Yeah. And he promised him that he would handle the boring governance.
Well, he fostered his position in terms of, hey, man, I got you. You go do you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take care of the back end.
Yeah.
Not in a weird way, but yeah.
So in Cavendish's words, Wolsey put the king in comfort that he shall not need to spare any time of his pleasure for any business, so long as Wolsey was around.
And that's why he made himself indispensable to the 8th, because he's like, oh shit, I can do whatever I want.
He knew all the ins and outs, and Henry did not.
Well, not only that but on Henry's side, he's like, fuck, I don't have to worry about this. This
Mhm.
dude's got it for me. Fuck yeah, let's go jousting, let's go hunting and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
of course, Henry loved this. So by 1511, Wolsey had effectively become Henry VIII's right-hand man.
yeah.
So, need someone to organize a war? Call Wolsey. Need funds for a war? Call Wolsey.
Need a drink in bed? Call.
No. Want to sponsor or host a jousting party?
Call
He's
Wolsey.
the organizing wedding planner. Call Wolsey.
I have a problem with calling him a wedding planner. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I do. Anyways. Carry on.
So, Wolsey got a reputation for being the Tudor wizard, essentially. Whatever the king wanted, he would make it happen, and he would make it happen fast.
I'm sorry, but the Tudor Wizard might be the title of this episode because that's fucking fantastic.
The Tudor wizard. So, let's talk about that war.
Yeah, let's do that.
1512 to 1513.
Yeah.
Henry VIII decided to revive the age-old English pastime of invading France. Okay.
Man, that was a common practice back in those days.
Yeah. So many of Henry's older advisors cautioned against this expensive adventure, but Wolsey backed the young king's war wholeheartedly.
Okay.
More than that, Wolsey became the logistical mastermind behind the campaign.
Gotcha.
He organized an army of like 25,000 soldiers, handled the provision of ships and supplies, basically served as quartermaster.
There it is.
Yes. And while Henry gallivanted off to France in 1513 at the head of his troops, Wolsey made sure the bills were paid and the troops were fed.
Correct. Yeah, he did the shit work, the boring work, whatever you want to call it. He did the necessary work.
Yeah.
Which is, we can't have this fight if they're not fed. They don't have ships to travel, so on and so forth. He did the logistics, basically.
So the result was England won some bragging rights.
Yep.
They seized some towns and even forced France to enter into a peace treaty.
A priest treaty?
With Henry's sister marrying the French king to seal the deal.
Right.
Henry, of course, took the credit for all these victories, but it was Wolsey's brilliance.
Yeah, but that's what the kings did back in those times. They had countless people doing shit for them, but they got the credit for it because you know why? He was fucking king.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So the war success was very good for Wolsey's career and his wallet. The rewards poured in. In 1513, Henry made Wolsey Bishop of Tournai, which was basically a diocese which you could collect income from.
Right.
In 1514, Wolsey was appointed Archbishop of York, a position second only to the Archbishop of Canterbury in the English Church.
Yep.
Not stopping there, the very next year, the Pope at Henry's request made Wolsey a cardinal.
Correct. Yeah, because he was, again, if you've seen the show The Tudors, which is a fantastic fucking show, not exactly 100% accurate, obviously, but I always known him as Cardinal Wolsey. So yeah. And that's what he was most famous for towards the end, obviously.
Yes.
That's what you knew him as. So yeah.
To top it all off, in late 1515, Henry VIII named Wolsey Lord Chancellor of England, essentially the king's chief minister and head of the kingdom's legal system.
Literally his right-hand man.
Yes.
Pretty much.
For everything.
Yeah, because that's a lot of power for not being a king.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Only one who had more power was typically Henry.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And he gave a lot of that up so that Wolsey could do all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, he didn't, I wouldn't say he gave it up. He gave Wolsey that power so he could do his thing.
What's it called? To like redirect responsibilities.
Delegate?
Delegate.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to be like dictate and like, no, that was Hitler. Anyways. Sorry.
So in less than a decade, Wolsey
he
had amassed
pretty far.
More titles and offices than any man could dream of. Cardinal, Archbishop, Lord Chancellor, plus a bunch of bishoprics on the side for the good measure.
I always had a hard time with the word bishopric.
Bishopric.
Because it's like, are you a bishop or a prick?
Yeah.
No, I'm a bishop prick.
But at one time, he was simultaneously Bishop of Lincoln, Archbishop of York, Bishop of Bath and Wales, Durham,
Durham? Or
there's
Durham?
no N, Durham, and Winchester, and Abbot of St. Albans to boot.
And a lot of these positions...
I think he needs a bigger business card.
He's going to need both sides. Am I right? He's going to need 8.5 by 11. Wasn't even a thing back then. Do you have any more papyrus? Anyways. And a lot of these titles came with income.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way all that shit worked back in the day, especially with the church, a lot of fucking money came in. With the donations and alms for the poor. No, I'm just kidding. What's the fucking word I'm trying to think of? Anyways, he got very wealthy, very wealthy off of this position because he positioned himself perfectly. Mm-hmm. So whatever happened to his dad? Is he still a butcher at this time?
I don't know.
Cool.
That was a part of my research.
I'm sorry. I did that on purpose, so you would literally say that.
So from 1515 onwards, Wolsey was so influential that people whispered that he was the Alter Rex.
Alter Rex?
The other king.
Is that what that means?
Mm-hmm. The other king. Okay. Alter Rex. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That might be a contender for the title.
Henry VIII was no puppet, of course.
No.
He made the big decisions, especially when passion or pride were involved.
He was very involved. Mm-hmm. It's not like he just gave up his, I don't want to say gave up his kingliness, if you will.
Yeah.
He was very involved, but he had like people running his shit in the background.
Yeah. And Wolsey's words carried nearly the same weight as King's. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
People like, don't bother the king with that. Talk to Wolsey. Yeah. Kind of attitude towards things. Yeah, for sure.
So if you wanted Henry's agreement on something, you better have Wolsey on board first.
Yeah. I mean, clearly you want something passed or whatever the word you want to use here, because I'm drawing a blank. You needed Wolsey on board. Yes. Because you weren't getting to the king if he wasn't on board with it, basically.
Yeah.
And you're not going to skip over Wolsey to go straight to the king because the king would be like,
would you talk to Wolsey first?
Yeah, exactly. So
as a cardinal, Wolsey loved the pomp and circumstance that came with his position.
For sure.
He cultivated a very extravagant lifestyle.
Yep.
He was not shy about flaunting his wealth.
Nope.
He built himself a residence fit for a king.
His residence, from what I recall, and again, I'm not a fucking expert, was pretty insane for a fucking cardinal. Yeah,
it was called Hampton Court Palace.
Yeah.
It was originally a modest manor, but Wolsey transform it into a like sprawling palace of red brick and elaborate design.
Yep.
It had lush gardens, ornate chapels, golden fountains, and Wolsey even set aside pretty magnificent apartments for Henry VIII, Queen Catherine,
when they
Princess
would visit,
Mary when they visited.
Yep,
exactly.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it was a sprawling fucking compound, if you will. I mean, it wasn't just a, hey, look at my house over there. With a tree. It was a fucking huge area that he had, from what I recall. And it was very elaborate for a fucking cardinal.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think a priest, cardinal / whatever church person would have all of this, but he's like, no, I'm going all out, man.
Yeah. So by the 1520s,
you keep doing the 19s. That's so funny.
Hampton Court was one of the grandest palaces in England, second to only the king's residence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wolsey's household was equally spectacular. He maintained a ton of servants and attendants, where the Archbishop of Canterbury, the top churchman in England, might appear at royal events with about 50 or 70 servants in tow.
Yeah.
Wolsey would have like 300 or more sharply dressed servants.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
But, and it's funny because they probably were still all at the king's beck and call. Could be like, yeah, go do this for the king.
Yeah.
kind of attitude,
Yeah.
you know, but he's like, no, you're mine, bitch.
And of course, the English nobility were disgusted by the ostentatious
He did get a
display.
little, what's the word I'm looking for?
Flashy.
Yeah, I think that's a proper word for what I'm saying. Yeah. Where he's just like, look at me.
Yeah.
Bow to Wolsey.
Yeah.
But
egotistical.
That's a very good word for him. Yeah, for sure.
So it didn't help Wolsey's image among the aristocrats.
That's a great movie. My son, when he was little, fucking that calmed him down. It was great. You're so good at this. I fucking love it. You know,
everybody wants to be a cat. Okay, the aristocrats.
Do you remember when I showed you that video of Dragula to that scene?
Yes.
It's so great.
Rod Zombie's Dragula to the Aristocats song.
Where they're playing the piano up and it falls through the floors and shit. It's so great. Good. Anyways, the aristocrats.
Yes, it didn't help that Wolsey's image among them.
No.
that he was quite arrogant and domineering by nature.
Well, his position made him that way because he got so elevated, we'll say, and is like, I'm the king's right-hand man.
Yeah.
You bow to me. And they're like, wait a minute.
And they resented his power.
100%.
Seeing his wealth and display gave them even more ammo to call him proud and a vain individual.
Well, and he kind of became that way, even though being a man of the church, he obviously flaunted what he had with all of his servants and like, hey, look at me. He wanted that though. That was his position. He's like, he wanted to be king without being king.
Yes.
Basically.
But as a clergyman, he swore an oath to
God.
Celibacy.
Oh, that too. But he wasn't celibate.
He was not.
No, he had
a mistress for many years.
Yep.
A woman known as Mistress Joan Lark.
And
he fathered 2 children with her, a son and a daughter.
Right. Yes.
It was an open secret at the time and certainly an embarrassment once Wolsey became the most prominent churchman in England. Do as I say, not as I do.
And that, yeah, exactly right. Which I still find it funny, and I know things have somewhat changed over the years, but it's just funny that, like, you can only represent God if you don't fuck. And that just seemed weird to me, ever. Because we won't go into all the stupid shit in the church and everything, the Catholic Church, but why? It didn't make sense to me, ever. But anyways.
But to his credit, Wolsey did not abandon his family. He provided financially for his mistress and their children.
Well, he had enough money to.
In 1519, he arranged a very respectable marriage for Joan Lark, effectively quietly retiring his mistress when it became politically inconvenient.
So once he arranged a marriage for her, did he cut off ties with her? Or was that still a thing, like, in the background?
I don't think it was a thing in the background. I don't know if they, like, stopped talking to each other, but I think they stopped having a relationship of that kind.
And again, I'm no expert, so correct me if I'm wrong, if you even know this, but towards the end of his, we'll call it demise, he was with somebody still. Not her, from what I understand, but anyways, all right, continue.
So he also made sure that his son was set up with a nice church position with property and income when the boy came of age.
So did his son go into being like a priest or anything like that?
It sounded like it.
Oh, you don't know for sure? Okay. No worries.
In Wolsey's word, loyalty and family still counted, but it was to be kept more hush-hush.
Sure. No, I get that.
The king knew of these indiscretions and mostly looked the other way.
Well, as you know, if you know anything about King Henry, he looked the other way.
Now, Wolsey didn't spend all of his time on these lavish engagements, throwing banquets, etc. He was working incredibly hard to strengthen the realm and, by extension, Henry's power.
Correct, yes.
So, as Lord Chancellor, Wolsey oversaw the legal system and wasn't afraid to reform it.
No.
So, he used the court of Star Chamber, which is just a royal council court, to dispense justice in cases the ordinary courts might ignore, often in favor of poor plaintiffs against overmighty nobles.
Okay.
So he's with it for the poor people.
He's a man of the people.
So the nobility hated that Wolsey was attacking them under the guise of helping the common folk, but for many ordinary Englishmen, the idea that even a great lord could be hauled before the law was a little bit refreshing.
Okay.
So, Wolsey also tackled the issue of land enclosures, wealthy landowners fencing off common lands, which was causing poverty and unrest among peasants.
That's crazy to think about. Back in, obviously, this is the 1500s, so quite a different time. But, like, we're going to fence this area off. I'm going to die. It's like, that's so weird to think about, like, how different it was back then just for these people trying to do whatever they could to survive for the most part.
Yeah.
But yet, and then Wolsey comes in like,
So he set up commissions to investigate enclosures and even ordered illegal fences and hedges torn down in some cases.
Isn't that wild?
And these efforts were met with mixed success, but it showed Wolsey had a reformist streak.
And he was a man of the people.
And he was born a butcher's boy. Like, he was born as a commoner.
Beef and beer.
Beef and beer.
Am I right?
Yeah. So, in the religious sphere, Wolsey wasn't a radical reformer.
No.
He remained a staunch Catholic.
Yep.
And even burned Lutheran books that began seeping into England, but he did plan improvements.
Yes.
Notably, he used some of his immense church income to found educational institutions.
What did he find?
He established the Cardinal College at Oxford in 1525, today known as Christ Church, Oxford.
Really?
And a grammar school in his hometown of Ipswich. So,
right. Go Wolsey.
To fund these, he dissolved a few small decaying monastery with the Pope's permission, reallocating their revenues to his colleges.
Well, I mean, I feel like he obviously did it with permission from the Pope, which was almighty back in these days. The fact that he's trying to foster like education, basically, why not?
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty great, to be honest, and that he established these places for people to learn. Sorry, but it just seems weird because, like, I don't know. he go on. Go on.
So in art and architecture, Wolsey felt like he was a true Renaissance patron. He hired the best craftsmen and artists of the day to adorn his palaces and projects.
Right.
If you walked into Wolsey's chambers, you'd see fine tapestries, ornate frescoes, Italian sculptures. Pretty much the man knew how to spend the money well. Yeah,
he wasn't shy about like making his shit fancy.
Yeah.
Basically.
So by the mid 1520s, Cardinal Wolsey was pretty much at the apex of his career. Okay. He was the second most powerful man in England, sometimes arguably the most powerful, since he had so much royal business.
He just didn't have the title of king.
Yeah.
And the only one who could trump him was
the king.
The king.
Yeah.
Mr. Henry VIII.
He was even wealthier than many princes. Foreign ambassadors both were flattered by him and feared him.
Yep.
But because there is a but.
Always a but.
The very force that had propelled Wolsey up, Mr. King Henry VIII, was also the force that would crush him.
Well, you know, when King Henry set his eyes on a particular young lass, he shit went sideways. We'll just say that for the most part.
Sure did.
I really hate that whenever I think of Anne Boleyn, I think of Natalie Dormer.
Yes.
Because, yep.
The Tudors. The movie, or the show.
I think of her in Hunger Games more. Just kidding. Obviously, I don't. She was in that, but anyways. The show, obviously, it's like... it's... Sam Neill as Cardinal Wolsey was fucking awesome.
I love Sam Neill.
I love Sam Neill. He's so good.
So...
Jurassic Park, am I right?
It all centered around... the quest for Henry VIII to annul his marriage
to Catherine of Aragon.
Catherine of Aragon.
I said Aragorn.
Aragog.
I said the Lord of the Rings Aragorn. Aragon. Aragog.
Aragog. Catherine of Aragon.
Yeah.
After 20 years of marriage, Catherine had borne Henry several children, but only one survived.
Mary.
Princess Mary. Mm-hmm.
Bloody.
By the 1520s, with Henry in his mid-30s and still lacking a male heir,
yes,
the king was growing desperate for a son. To make matters more interesting, Henry had fallen passionately in love or in lust with Anne Boleyn.
Natalie Dormer.
Anne was clever, charismatic, and unwilling to be just a mistress.
So, I've never seen this movie, and I don't know much of the actual history of it, because I know movies are obviously, I don't want to say biased, but not 100% accurate. He banged her sister first.
That's what the movie claimed, but this is not on Henry VIII. So
no, I know. But what my point of bringing that up is like he wanted to alter his. I mean, he ends up altering his religion for all of this, creating the Church of England, which Elizabeth I very well fostered, and Mary is like, no, I want Catholic, and she died. But anyways, I had a point and I don't have it anymore. Continue.
So Mary Boleyn,
yes,
was a lady in waiting at court.
Yep.
Many historians agree that she was at one point Henry's mistress.
Correct.
Before Anne.
Correct.
Yes. So
there we
we'll
go.
Just leave that.
We got it out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep,
okay. Yep. So Anne Boleyn didn't want to be a mistress. She wanted to be queen. So
she was very persistent in that fact. She didn't want to be a side piece. She wanted to be the piece. So Henry,
determined to grant that wish, tasked his brilliant cardinal, Mr. Wolsey, with the most impossible of errands.
Yep.
Get rid of my wife so I can marry someone else.
And the Pope was like, nah.
Yeah. So Wolsey, who had to move mountains for Henry before, now faced the Pope.
He literally had to move the earth for this because the Pope is like, no.
Only the Pope at this time could annul a royal marriage in Catholic Europe.
Correct. Yeah.
So Henry's ground for annulment was a technical one.
Which
he claimed that because Catherine had briefly been married to his late brother Arthur,
who was the original king,
her union with Henry was invalid in God's eyes.
They never consummated, though.
No. The Pope had given them an exemption to marry in the first place.
Yeah. So
first you want the Pope to get you married. Now you want the Pope to get you annulled. What the hell?
Yep.
So Wolsey's job was to get that Henry get out of jail free card. So
get out of jail free card.
Yes.
Yep. Yes. You're not wrong. That's what he wanted. So
unfortunately, Pope Clement had his own problems. Emperor Charles V.
Yes.
None other than Catherine of Aragon's nephew.
Yes. Yep.
A man totally opposed to his aunt being cast aside.
Because he's like, You can't do that to her.
No.
That's my aunt, bro.
So Clement VII was caught between a rock and a hard place. Henry VIII on one side and Emperor plus the Catholic opinion on the other side.
Yep.
For Wolsey, that meant that charm and dramatic skill, even his legendary finesse, will not suffice this time.
No, it was a very, very tough road for him to travel. And, well, ultimately, let's find out.
Yes. He tried multiple angles to solve
I'm sorry. That shouldn't be so funny, but it is.
multiple angers. My ears hurt.
I'm with you. And he tried multiple angers. Oh my God, that was fan-fucking-tastic.
So he convened a special court in London in 1529 with himself and a representative from Rome.
Okay.
Cardinal Campeggio, acting as judge.
Yes, Campeggio. I think he was played by oh fuck, I just lost his name. He's dead. God damn it. I can literally picture him. Anyways, in the show, that is.
So they summoned Henry and Catherine to plead their cases.
Yes.
At one session, Queen Catherine of Aragon dramatically knelt before Henry and delivered a speech refusing to agree that her marriage was illegitimate.
Yep.
She said, quote, "I have been to you a true, humble, and obedient wife."
Okay.
And she did not want a divorce.
Of course not, because her position would be not as good.
Wolsey, despite his power, could not simply brush aside a queen who commanded so much respect and sympathy of her followers.
There was a lot of people that loved Queen Catherine.
And this court did not grant Henry his divorce.
And so he got pissed.
Catherine formally appealed her case to the Pope in Rome, invoking her right as queen to have the Pope himself judge.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Pope Clement VII, perhaps relieved to escape the issue, agreed to revoke the case to Rome, meaning the decision would be delayed indefinitely.
Yeah.
For Henry, outrage.
Of course, because he wanted to bang Anne Boleyn on the up and up.
And it had been 2 years that he's been trying to get with Anne.
Well, not to get with Anne. But
well, you know what I mean.
Legally to get with Anne, yeah. Yep.
So, holding the bag of blame, Cardinal Wolsey.
Yeah, of course.
Henry VIII relied on Wolsey to fix his problem, and Wolsey had failed publicly.
Well, and like I think you literally said just not that long ago, is impossible task.
Impossible task.
He was literally charged with an impossible task that was not going to be beneficial for King Henry. And he had to try and navigate this impossible task and be like, dude, I can't fucking do this.
Mm-hmm.
The Pope said no. I am in charge by the Pope, technically, because he's a cardinal. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And King Henry's like, fuck you, dude. You didn't do what I wanted, so off with your head.
So, Anne Boleyn didn't care for Wolsey.
Natalie Dormer.
She and her faction at court, including her father and the Duke of Norfolk, told Henry that Wolsey had either been dragging his feet or was simply no longer useful.
Yeah, see, that's where the people get whisper in your ear and be like, man, he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And Wolsey's like, I fucking did everything I could.
Yeah.
But you get the king wanting to hear what he wants to hear was told by other people what he wanted to hear.
Wolsey had probably done everything he could, but Anne believed Wolsey had even sabotaged the divorce at times.
Nope.
Not the deal.
Nope.
When whether Henry believed that or not, his trust in Wolsey was already shattered.
Yep.
Yes.
Poor guy.
The king's vengeance was swift
and fierce.
In October 1529, Wolsey was stripped of his office as Lord Chancellor.
Yep.
Shortly after, he was charged under the ancient law of praemunire. Essentially,
praemunire?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. essentially accused of abusing his authority as papal legate and putting the Pope's powers above the king's. Hello, he's Catholic.
They all were at this time. And it's so funny because it's like he literally didn't. He, I believe, and again, I'm no expert, did what he could.
Yeah.
Did what he could. And he didn't get the outcome that he wanted. So it's like, fuck you, dude.
So, facing this charge, Wolsey had no choice but to plead guilty. He was compelled to surrender all of his vast possessions to the crown,
which were significant.
Henry took Hampton Court Palace.
Oh, dear.
Wolsey's London residence, York Place, which he named after his title as Archbishop of York, that was confiscated, and Henry would later remake that into Whitehall Palace.
Yes, I knew that. Actually.
His tapestries, his jewels, his fine furnishings, all inventoried for the king.
Sure.
Yes.
He inherited it all.
After casting Wolsey down, Henry VIII initially spared his old friend from total ruin.
Yeah.
Wolsey was banished from court in order to live in the north in his capacity as Archbishop of York, the only title left.
Okay.
So, Wolsey had no choice. In the spring of 1530, he traveled north to Yorkshire. And there, for the first time in his life, Wolsey focused on being Archbishop.
Which is funny because he's literally been in the church his whole life. It's like, maybe I should actually try and be in the church.
So he took up residence at Cawood Castle and surprisingly devoted himself...
Cawood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And devoted himself to spiritual and administrative needs of his archdiocese.
Okay.
By some accounts, he did so earnestly, perhaps trying to find a bit of redemption.
Right.
He even planned a grand formal enthronement ceremony for York minister scheduled for November 1530 to mark his take-up of the archbishopric with proper pomp and circumstance.
Sure.
And, of course, ever the showman, Wolsey couldn't resist one last display of magnificence, even in semi-exile.
Of course.
But
semi-exile.
He would never see that day.
No, he wouldn't.
In late October 1530, King Henry, or those around Anne Boleyn, got wind that Wolsey might be plotting a comeback of sorts. There were rumors that Wolsey had been in secret communication with foreign powers, perhaps hoping the Pope or the King of France might restore him to favor.
Yeah.
Whether true or not, these rumors sealed Wolsey's fate.
Correct.
Henry VIII sent soldiers north to arrest the cardinal on charges of high treason.
Yep.
On 4th of November, 1530, just days before Wolsey's planned York minister ceremony, the Earl of Northumberland, who was Henry Percy, who was supposed to have married Anne Boleyn, but didn't.
Yeah.
He confronted Wolsey and announced that the cardinal was under arrest for treason.
Crazy.
According to George Cavendish's account, Wolsey was stunned.
Well, yeah, because he's like, wait, what?
Yes. Wolsey meekly submitted to the royal officers. He knows that the charge of high treason is a death sentence.
Yep.
Yes. The fallen cardinal was taken into custody and escorted south towards London. It was a long and slow journey, and Wolsey, who was only in his mid-50s, was actually fairly ill.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
The stress of his disgrace, the abrupt arrest, and perhaps some kind of intestinal illness,
maybe some ulcers,
was catching up to him.
Yeah, for sure.
So en route to Leicester Abbey, Wolsey's condition worsened.
Yep.
He was bedridden and sensing the end, and Thomas Wolsey spoke some of his final words. He is reported again by Cavendish, who was present, to have reflected bitterly on how he had spent his life. He said, "Had I but served God as diligently as I had served the king, he would not have given me over in my gray hairs."
Sure.
So Wolsey summed up the tragedy of his career in that one line, that in his devotion to Henry, he had perhaps neglected the higher duty
of God.
Of his faith.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Wow.
He then warned people to be careful what he told the king.
Sure.
Quote, "For you can never put it out again." Once Henry's mind was set.
Yeah.
On November 29th, 1530, in the early hours of the morning, Cardinal Wolsey died at Leicester Abbey, uttering, quote, "I am come to leave my bones among you," to the monks who had attended him.
Wow.
He was 57, give or take a year.
Sure.
He never reached London, thus narrowly escaping public humiliation.
Yep.
One might say death in the end was kinder to Wolsey than King Henry was.
Yep.
Thomas Wolsey's abrupt fall sent shockwaves throughout England. He was a man who had been for a generation the most powerful figure besides the king.
Oh, for sure.
He died disgraced and virtually alone, buried in a humble grave at the Abbey, a grave
Right.
whose actual location is unknown. It is lost to history.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, that's surprising. Okay.
Henry VIII, upon hearing of Wolsey's death, supposedly remarked that he wished Wolsey had lived. Perhaps maybe a little bit of remorse. We won't know.
Well, and it's funny because he was so consumed with the divorce because he wanted what he wanted, and he wanted it to make it legal, even though the Pope never saw it legal, so on and so forth, that he was blinded to like someone who actually really cared for him and who did a lot for him. And obviously I'm not King Henry, but he's like, no, you didn't give me what I want, fuck you.
Yeah.
And that's literally what the basis of what happened to him is he just couldn't pull off the impossible for his king.
Yeah.
So, well, now you fucked up.
Yeah.
You're disgraced. You couldn't do what I wanted. Fuck you. But I mean, look how many people King Henry beheaded. Wives alone. Quite a few.
So,
yeah.
Remorse or not, Henry still wasted no time in seizing what remained of Wolsey's assets and moving on with business.
Well, of course, because he's
breaking
not,
from Rome for his new life.
He's not going to let that go to anyone but the king.
So, to his enemies, Wolsey's story was like a morality play of arrogance.
Yeah.
They painted him as a fat, worldly, greedy tyrant.
Which he wasn't.
Who had presumed to rival the king's own authority.
Which he didn't.
The contemporary chronicle Edward Hall and later Protestant historians vilified Wolsey as a symbol of everything corrupt in the pre-Reformation church. He was accused of being excessively proud, of loving luxury, of wielding power. And the poet John Skelton wrote verses about Lord Cardinal Wolsey during Wolsey's lifetime, mocking his pomp and calling him a bloodthirsty vulture.
It's funny because, like, did he flaunt or whatever, what he could get? Yes, probably. But I am not a historian. I don't know all the facts. I'm learning what I'm learning here. I knew a lot about Wolsey prior to this episode, but it's like, I don't believe that. Yes, he used his position for gain, clearly, with his residence and so on and so forth, but he literally wanted to why am I drawing a blank on words? I feel like you. He wanted to elevate his position, but also the king's too. He had a duty to the king. He really did. But anyways.
So even among the common folk, Wolsey had earned some outrage. He was one that levied higher taxes, and it was fairly unpopular in 1525, and it led to a near rebellion.
I feel like not just in 1525. Is that unpopular?
No.
I feel like it's a common theme.
But by the time of his fall, taxpayers, nobles, clergymen, they were not sad to see him go.
No, of course not.
One ambassador noted that Wolsey was hated by the nobles, the lawyers, the taxpayers, and even by most of his fellow bishops. In their eyes, Wolsey's death was the welcome purge of a royal favorite who flew too high.
He's like Icarus. Flew too close to the sun.
There's another side of this legacy.
Sure.
Wolsey was in many respects a man of extraordinary talent who steered the kingdom through a complex era.
Sure.
He had been credited as a brilliant administrator who helped the government effective at a time when Henry VIII mostly indulged in leisure and grand projects, much to Wolsey's
pushback. Yep.
Under Wolsey's management, England saw reforms in justice and centralized royal authority.
Yep.
He enforced the law against rich and poor alike,
Yep.
and tried to ensure the king's peace was kept.
For sure.
In Europe, Wolsey's diplomacy thought, though not always successful, at least put England on the map as a power broker.
He put them first. I mean, he was about England.
Yeah.
He wanted to see them thrive because obviously did it benefit him too? Of course.
Yeah.
But he also wanted to see the king and England thrive.
Yeah.
With that. And it's funny that people are like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Which again, I mean, perception. I get it. Some of the stuff he did, not right. Don't get me wrong. But
he engineered the Treaty of London in 1518.
What's that?
It was kind of short-lived, but it was a collective security agreement among major nations.
Okay.
He staged the Field of Cloth of Gold Summit in 1520 while not preventing future wars.
Okay.
But he certainly boosted Henry's prestige.
Sure.
He played Francis I of France and Charles V of the Holy Roman Empire against each other to England's advantage when he could.
Sure.
And when war did come, he found ways to fund Henry's campaigns.
Ah, gotcha.
So some historians argue that Wolsey was far from being a greedy schemer, genuinely tried to serve as what he saw was England's best interest.
I'd agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not a professional. I'm not a historian. I'm a history buffoon, as the title of our show suggests. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to further, because did it benefit him? Of course. But it also did it benefit England? Obviously. So, yeah, okay.
He had been praised for his incredible work ethic and his promotion of capable men.
Sure.
And he was also fairly moderate in the religious persecutions of the time. He showed some leniency to early Protestants, preferring to burn heretical books rather than heretics themselves.
Yeah.
And then there were tangible legacies. Hampton Court Palace stands today.
Yep. I knew that.
In Oxford, there's the Christ Church College. And then even in death, Wolsey had this legacy. The very tomb he commissioned for himself, which was a black marble sarcophagus.
Oh, shit.
Was never used for Wolsey.
No, because where did you say he was buried again? Do you remember?
It was at the Leicester Abbey unknown grave.
Right. Yep.
But that sarcophagus was repurposed as the coffin for Admiral Lord Nelson, Britain's greatest naval hero.
Really?
When he is at the St. Paul's Cathedral.
When was he alive? Do you know that?
No, I did not look into it.
That's fine.
But Henry VIII would go on to get his new wife and a son eventually by breaking from the Catholic Church.
New religion.
The England that emerged in the 1530s was a very different place, more directly under Henry's personal rule, no longer obedient to Rome, with new ministers like Thomas Cromwell.
Good old Cromwell. That fucker.
Wolsey's fall paved the way for these developments.
Yep, sure
Some
did.
of his reforms in finance and governance were the foundations of later figures built on, but Wolsey himself belonged to the old world.
Yeah, he kind of bridged that difference, if you will. He had a lot of influence on the new stuff, but was tied to the old world, and then Cromwell and those other guys were the new regime, if you will. So, yeah.
Wolsey was a brilliant, flawed, proud, generous, ruthless, and loyal man all in one.
Of the church.
He was a butcher's son who died with kings, and the man who nearly ruled England only to be felled by the very monarch he served so faithfully.
Yeah, I mean...
And that is Cardinal Thomas Wolsey.
He was a man of England. Be ever remembered. I mean, he's a very prominent character in English history. It was, I mean, a lot of shit would not have happened if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
I mean, in King Henry's the eighth reign. So, I mean, yeah, he'll be forever known. I mean, he's in the history books.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but do some people agree with it? No. Do some people agree with it? Yes. And it's all perception on that, but I don't know. Sam Neill. Am I right?
How did you like Cycles Gladiator?
I liked it. I wish we would have bought 2 bottles.
Yeah, it is really delicious.
Yeah, I am not opposed to it at all. I like soft blancs, like I told you. I'm sorry. I need more wine or something. I have dry mouth. No, it's rather good. I'm a big fan of soft blancs, the overall style, and normally soft blancs come from New Zealand. Is it?
Mm.
Marlborough, which is not the cigarette; it's the region. But obviously, there's other varieties of it, California, so on. But no, it was good. How do you like it?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'm eager to finish mine.
I'd say I'm eager to finish mine, but
yours is gone.
Welp.
I suppose.
All right, buffoons. That's it for today's episode.
Buckle up because we've got another historical adventure waiting for you next time. Feeling hungry for more buffoonery? Or maybe you have a burning question or a wild historical theory for us to explore?
Hit us up on social media. We're History Buffoons Podcast on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also email us at historybuffoonspodcast@gmail.com. We are Bradley and Kate. Music by Corey Akers.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and turn those notifications on to stay in the loop.
Until next time, stay curious and don't forget to rate and review us.
Remember, the buffoonery never stops.